From repoing planes to inspiring the next generation of aviation, we've got Kevin Lacey in the hangar. Welcome to In the Hangar. I'm Christy Wong. Today's episode is brought to you by a lot of really great sponsors. My favorite one's probably Flying Eyes Optics, but more on them in the links below and at the end of the show. First of all, I'd like to introduce you to our esteemed guest, Kevin Lacey.
Hi, Miss Christy. Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too.
How are you?
Doing great.
Good.
We also have on the show today Max and Savannah. So you guys are part of the Tango 31 Aero Club, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And Kevin, you oversee that club.
Yes, ma'am. I'm kind of one of the founding directors. But is that really his name, Max?
Is it?
Looks Brillo to me.
Brillo. Oh, okay. All right, Brillo. And so what's up with these nicknames?
They're call signs, woman.
Call signs?
They're call signs.
Okay, cool.
You
Then what's my call sign?
Well, you don't have one yet. You got to earn
Not
it.
yet. Okay, so is that how you earn your call sign? So we've got Brillo.
Yep.
Oh, please tell me that story.
Look at that mop on his head. There it is. It looks like a Brillo scratch pad.
Okay, fair enough.
Especially when he's wearing a ball cap. It's even funnier.
Okay, what about Savannah?
Thunder? Well, I don't know.
Thunder.
Yeah, she just...
Oh.
She takes command of the hangar as best she can, you know. And,
It's not because she's loud?
well, that's too. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
But, you know,
Awesome.
So her presence is known when she's here.
Perfect.
Let's put it at
Okay.
that.
Well, how did you start the Tango 31 Aero Club? The last I saw you, you were repoing airplanes.
Well, yeah, I'm training my replacements.
Oh.
So, no, these. What I realized is that I've been so busy with my world doing my big airplane stuff, you know, Boeings and Lears and everything in between, and then I realized that there's no replacements coming up the pipeline there, you know, and those ones that are doing it are going to these flight schools that charge them $100,000 to get 2 certificates, and they're still useless. You know, they don't have any flight time and any experience. These youngins, I look at it, and $300 an hour for a 172. Really? These youngins can't get a job for more than $10 an hour slinging tacos over at the nearest hamburger joint. So
They serve tacos at hamburger joints now?
well, you know,
About to say.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
yeah, well, you got to try them.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. But you know, the sad part was, you know, at $300 an hour, and these youngins are trying to pay their way like I did, or at least I think that's the way the world works still. You know, I paid my own way, but it was $6 an hour when I was a kid, and it's $250 an hour, $300 an hour to hop in a 172 and go saddle up and ride around with a 250-hour flight instructor who doesn't know how to fly either. You know, so now all of a sudden, I see these youngins because of the TV show just start showing up at my hangar, and I don't know why. They came to the hangar and said, you make flying look pretty cool. Can we hang out with you? And I go, well, yeah, I don't know what we're going to do with you, but come on, hang out. So after about 2 weeks went by and couldn't get rid of them, I decided, well, I started looking for a project for them. And we found a Cessna 150 out in the barn out there in East Texas, and went out there and hauled it back to the hangar and said, all right, you peckerheads are going to fix this airplane, build it up, you're going to learn to fly it. We are? Yeah. That's exactly what you're going to do. And they dove right into the middle of it, and I just stood over there and told them, do this, do that, do this. They built the engine, they wired in the avionics. I mean, you know, these youngins, they may be stupid and, you know, juvenile delinquents, but, you know, they got some talent, too. If you put them to use and kind of teach them what to do, they can get in there and do it.
They take direction.
Well, yeah, not very well sometimes, but, you know, but we get them going. And so far, they've done really good jobs. They've built several engines now, and we've ran them on test cells. We put them in the airplanes, and you know they fly all over the countryside in those little airplanes. They're earning their pilot certificates. We've got 3 airframe power plant mechanics out there now. We've got one of them with his inspection authorization. One of them works at Bombardier Aircraft Service Center down there at Love Field. He's a shop foreman for the Bombardier Challengers and Globals. Got another one that's a shop foreman at Cirrus Aircraft Service Center at McKinney. Little Miss Ponytail. She graduated Embry-Riddle down there with an aeronautical something or another. You know what her degree's in?
I don't.
Anyway, she got her big old degree down there at Embry-Riddle, and she's commercial multi-engine instrument rated. She earned her private pilot certificate in a little airplane that she helped build and take off a trailer. Graduated high school a year early, you know, and then got her a scholarship. You know, these youngins, you know, you just give them a launch pad, and they'll run with the ball if you give it to them.
That's amazing. Savannah, I'm I'm sorry, Thunder.
Yes, ma'am.
How did you get involved?
So I had shown interest in aviation, and a good friend of mine is actually coworkers with Blue over at Cirrus. And so he kind of showed me to the hangar, and so I wandered out there, walked to the hangar, been there ever since.
Just showed up at the hangar one day.
Just showed up at the hangar one
That's
day.
usually how it works.
Been
All
there
right.
for a year and a half, so.
All right, and Barillo.
Yeah.
Okay, how
So,
did you get involved?
I wanted to fly for a long time, and so I went down to Las Vegas, down back there in August, I want to say, to fly with one of my dad's friends because he had a Cessna 175. And it turns out Thunder over here decided to talk to a big guy from Southwest down when they went to Oshkosh, down at the air show over there, and he told me to talk to her about the club. So I called her one day, woke her up from a nap, apparently, and
Yes.
she was just like, come out on Saturday, and I've been here ever since then.
Then
Okay.
I showed him around, so.
Yeah.
You just got sucked in.
Yeah.
That's usually how it happens. How do you guys feel about having to put in all this sweat equity into these airplanes that you eventually wind up flying?
That's
love it.
honestly the best part about it. The best part about the Aero Club is the fact that we get hands-on experience, and so it also teaches you a sense of responsibility because you're flying those airplanes and you're going to want to take care of them because you know that if something happens to it, you break it, pop the tire, had to bring it back to the airport and fix it. So, you're working on these airplanes, and so when you work on them, you also want to make sure you're thoroughly inspecting it, doing your job and really making sure that, you take responsibility for your actions because you're the one flying it.
That's
And so
amazing.
it teaches real world.
Yeah.
We learn a lot of real world skills. We have kids who come in who can't even air up a bike tire, and they leave and they can change tires and clean spark plugs, and they know how an engine works. And so that's what's really cool. It's a really great launch pad for us.
That's amazing. Do you guys have to pay anything to be part of the club?
We do have a membership fee.
Okay.
So it is paid when you first join the Aero Club, when we turn in all of our paperwork and stuff.
Do you mind if I ask you guys how much it costs?
I don't
Sure.
care. What is it this year?
I think it's 100.
That's it?
150?
150,
150
bucks.
$150 to join.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have ongoing monthly dues or is it just a one-time?
You pay $150 to join, and then you put in your sweat equity, and you get to fly the airplanes for a discounted price. So
That is incredible, you guys. How many airplanes do you have now?
We have that are flyable right now. We
Yes.
have two Cessna 150 trainers that we have. We
Okay.
have Cessna, we have 63337, and then we have 8635 uniform. And we store those down. One is at a tie down, one's at a hangar. And then we have, actually, his Taylorcraft doesn't fly. Or does it?
Wants to know about your airplanes, not
Oh,
mine.
those are, and then
My
right now.
Taylorcraft is not yours.
I was just going to name all of them.
Well, no, just name your
Oh, you
airplanes.
have them work on your Taylorcraft?
No.
No, we
That
haven't.
would
We
be
have not
genius.
touched them.
Oh, no.
Oh, that would be genius,
They've got their
though.
own T-craft.
Okay. They've got their own Taylorcraft?
Yes.
Well, we also have that we pulled out of a swamp down in Louisiana, Cessna 172, that we've been working on for around 2 years now.
Pulled out of a swamp. All
it's
right.
got
We call
Dynon
it the-
touchscreen
we call it the Swamp
avionics.
Hawk.
Yeah.
Swamp Hawk, okay.
And then we have just donated to us pretty recently, a T-tailed Piper Arrow that we've been working on. We just finished doing the inspections on the wings and the inspection on the wing spar bolts and the bolt holes. And we have a clip wing that we have upstairs that is waiting for our attention. It's a clip wing Taylorcraft and as well as a Cessna 120.
So you guys have what, 4 airplanes that you're working on, plus 2 that are flyable right
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And then 2 future ones.
now? That is crazy. That's amazing. How many kids do you have in your club now?
You want to count the ones that are off to college who keep coming back like a bad penny, or just the ones that show up every week? We got about 18 that show up every week.
Yeah.
We get together 3 days of the week, and there's 15 to 18 of them show up, and some of them are out flying with some of our flight instructors, and some of them are just out here working on the airplanes in the hangar. Every single bit of it, nobody gets out anything. The girls pack wheel bearings, they can do compression checks on the
Oh,
engine.
100%.
They know how to.
I've been known to pack a wheel bearing or two.
They know how to time a magneto. As a matter of fact, we've got a little O200. These youngins flew 530 hours in those 2 little airplanes last year, and that's reasonably impressive considering that half the time they're in the hangar for maintenance for one reason or another, a 100-hour inspection. Or for one reason or other, something's going to get broken or something broken. We have to get it fixed or find parts in the market somewhere to support the airplane. But well, it just is what it is.
Okay. What are some of the club's biggest accomplishments that you guys are most proud of?
We have a handful of kids who come in and they walk out with, they have pilot certificates. Kevin was talking about our AMPs, and one of them's IA, and We've got people getting, going to schools and getting their advanced ratings. And so we've got a handful of pilots, and we've got a handful of people who walk in the hangar knowing nothing. And then, I'd never seen an airplane in person until I came out to the hangar. And now, I'm working on them 3 days a week. And so what's really cool is that you walk in, and some of the accomplishments is we fall in love with the general aviation community.
You guys are some of the coolest people I know. Seriously, that is so cool. I wish that there had been something like that around when I was a kid. Oh my gosh, you guys are so lucky. What would you say are some of your biggest problems or obstacles that you have to overcome?
That's actually a great question. Us being a 501c3 nonprofit, we solely rely on our amazing sponsors, and we have people who donate to us, and that's how we run off of those people generous enough to give to us to help us better ourselves in our careers. And so just making sure, we have enough money to fund our projects and pay for insurance. Insurance companies want to insure these airplanes that teenagers are jumping in and flying. So there's that. And then our other biggest thing, I would say, is hangar space. Kevin has let us operate out of his personal hangar all of these years.
I don't have a hangar anymore.
He doesn't. So we use his personal hangar, and we have, as we're listing off, a ton of airplanes. So we have, airplanes down at tie downs, or people are letting us store it in their hangars. And so space is the biggest thing for us. The more projects we get in the door, the less space we have to roam around. So
I would say tools is another big issue.
tools is another big issue.
Tools and parts.
Yeah,
No, they will not put my tools back in my tool.
Oh, no.
No, yeah, they will not put my tool. My Snap-on tools do not belong in your Harbor Freight toolbox over there. Kids. No, and I do not want. I want my Snap-on tools in my toolbox so I can find them when I need them.
All right. I do have to ask you guys this question. You guys I noticed that Aero Club is spelled wrong. There's an E at
That's
the end
not
of
spelled
club.
wrong.
Well, then what's that about?
We're the deluxe version of a club. No,
Aero Club.
Actually, I was made an honorary member of the San Jose dos Campos Aero Clubby in San Jose, down in Brazil. Just north of São Paulo. I had captured 3 Boeing 737s down there, and I had one at San
As
Jose.
one does.
I had one in San Jose, one in São Paulo, and one over in Rio. And the Embraer, the jungle jet makers down there, had their manufacturing base there. But on the other side of the airport, they had their little Aero Clubby. And so their their chief jungle jet test pilot, he was a member over there, and he invited me over one day, took me out flying around his little P-82 or P-92 Tecnam or whatever it was. We sat down there and drank some Brahma beer afterwards, and he made me an honorary member of the San Jose dos Campos Aero Club.
And you brought that here to North Texas.
Well, I was down there 3 years. It just kind of stuck with me for a while, But yeah, I brought it home.
Okay, that's fair. It seems like you have a soft spot for the club and for these kids in particular. Is there anything that you would say stands out as the most the best accomplishment that you've seen from them?
They show up.
You know what? That's huge.
We're not a member of an EAA chapter. We're not a member of AOPA. Don't support us. EAA doesn't support us. The high schools, we're not affiliated with them. They don't get any accreditation for anybody anywhere for showing up at the hangar and spending their 800 to 900 hours a year. Each one of them spends about that many hours a year at the airport. And I think the fun part is we gang up and we go to Oshkosh, and we go down to Sun and Fun. They get to fly the airplanes for the price of gas. And, my phone will go off. Oh, crap, who's flying now? Well, there goes one of them. I never know who's flying one of the other airplanes, but it's okay. It's good. I remember when I was a kid.
Well, that is amazing. And honestly, you guys are amazing. Seriously, for showing up. And I have so much respect for you guys. So, and of course, we love you. So
Well, thanks.
if anybody wants to help fund your cause, where can they go?
Well, our hangar's on 10045 Kennedy.
Just come drop money off. Or airplanes.
We've got a web page, checks in the mail. Yeah, it's T31 Aero Clubby.
Aero Clubby with an E at the end there.
.com. Yeah, it's the deluxe version. And I think we've got a PayPal account. We're on Facebook, and we've got some stuff. We try to keep up with all that social media stuff. But,
Okay.
Anyway, you can find us. We're pretty easy to find.
Awesome. Well, you guys keep doing what you're doing. I follow your page on Facebook. Of course, you and I are friends on
You
Facebook.
see some of the catastrophes we go through?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, but I love it, and it's super inspiring. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Well, it's kind of fun to watch these youngins try to figure out that round handle makes the gear go up and down. The hydraulic fluid comes from back there, goes up here. From the basic 150 to see the light bulb go off, and I was like, oh, that's what that is.
I know some adults that can't do that.
So do I.
Yeah.
So do I.
Awesome. Any final words?
No, I'm good.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, no, thank you guys so much for coming. It's always a treat to hang out with you, Kevin.
Well, yeah, we make it entertaining as much as we can.
Yeah, we do. I'm still waiting for that call sign.
Oh. Ooh, Miss Christie needs a call sign. Huh?
Yeah.
We got any more club members back here? Let me see.
I have an idea.
Okay, let me see. There's Mouse. There's oh shoot, we got Cinderella back there. There's Plowboy and Dagwood, Beach Boy over there too. So what's Miss Christie look
We
like?
will-
What does she remind me of?
It's got to be something about those amazing leggings.
About those.
How much is leggings?
Well, I already gave up Britches.
You did have britches.
We got another kid named Britches. I don't know where he's at. He shows up in his underwear. I mean, he won't wear long
It'll be 30
pants.
degrees and it's shorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, as teenagers do. Well, we'll definitely come up with something later.
We'll have to work on something. Yeah, we
Awesome.
can work on it.
All right, you guys. Well, thank you guys so much. We'd like to thank our sponsors, amazing sponsors. I'm solo today, so I'm going to try to remember all of them. We've got Flying Eyes, the best flying eye vision for your flying eyes needs. Taking off all caps, one word for 10% off Flying Eyes. All right, we got Clemens Insurance, Jerry. He saved Dan a ton of money. Dan needs all the money, so that's good news for Dan. We got Marshall Protective Services. They will protect you. We got 67 Designs, the best camera mounts for all your camera mount needs. We got Colton Mortgage, ColtonTakingOff.com. We got Z-Vision, the brightest lights imaginable. They'll see you from like 50 miles away. I can guarantee it. Anyway, guys, all jokes aside, thank you so much for our amazing sponsors and for our amazing viewers. It's you guys that help support the channel. You can continue to support us by liking, subscribing, sharing our content. We'll see you all next time in the hangar.